WordPress 6.7 is due to release in a little over a month, and with it, it brings some key new features, some additions, some changes, and one feature that I think I would love to see roll out to other builders in the WordPress ecosystem, but I'll come on to that a little later. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name's Paul C, and I've been a web designer and a WordPress user for well over 10 years. Okay, so let's take a look at what we can expect to see in 6.7. So the first thing is the 2025 theme. Now, if you are a user of the standard default themes in WordPress, they are getting more and more minimal. Whether you like this or not is up to you, but let's take a look at what we have as part of it. Let's go in and customize it. You can see it's a pretty simple and basic minimal layout. If we come over into the patterns, then we've got a range of new patterns that are part of this particular theme. Again, all pretty minimalist. Whether you like them or not is kind of up to you. For me, I'm not the biggest fan of these kind of 2023, 4, 5 themes. They're a starting point, I suppose, if you want to work with Gutenberg and you don't want to use any other kind of theme on top of it. It's pretty much a blank-ish canvas to start from. But as you can see, we've got a range of new patterns available to us. Whether you like them, like I say, is up to you. If we come back out of this, open up our templates, we'll see another change inside here that we haven't seen previously, and that's this kind of template viewer. This is going to show us the various different templates we have making up our, in this example, all templates, or if we have multiple themes, we can see specific templates based upon the theme that we choose. So inside here, you can see we've got a screenshot of each one of them available. If we pop into the top right-hand corner, we can change this layout between a table layout, a grid layout, and also a list layout. I quite like the list layout, if I'm honest. I like the fact that we can switch between them easily and we can take a look at the actual full-size page or template in the main part of the browser window. So that's pretty cool. So for example, if we go to the 404, you can see that will show us what the 404 page looks like. Switch back to these at any point. So let's go back to our grid. You'll also notice the little cog icon. This allows us to sort by the different templates. We can adjust the preview size with some predefined sizes. We can choose the number of items per page, and we can also choose what we want to see. So at the moment, you can see we've got the template, the description, and the author. So for this example, the author is kind of irrelevant, so we could disable that. If you don't want to worry about the description, you can do the same here as well. We can also choose how we order these, whether we want them to be ascending or descending order. So there's some nice little quality lift here. And again, I like the way this actually works. This gives us a nice, clean, simple overview to all the different template pieces that we have as making up an overall site. So a pretty nice little way of working. And you can, if you want to, add your new templates inside here as well. If we hop back out of here, let's go into our styles. And you can see there's our predefined styles. We can easily switch between any of these. Now, some of these are okay starting points. Some of them, I wonder if the person that actually created them was colorblind or design deficient, because they are absolutely, truly terrible. But, you know, you can pick and choose if you like these kind of starting points, so we can change the different color palettes. So that's quite nice to see that we can do that. Pretty cool. You can come down, you can change your different typography kind of combinations then. Again, you can see they're kind of quirky. They're not really something that I think most people that would be designing a website would want to start from, unless you want a truly ugly website. You know, what can I say? What I do appreciate, though, is if we come in and edit one of these styles, you can see all our options on the right-hand side, so we can change the colors, the background, shadows, and so on. So there's some quite nice little features here. And if you want to, you can browse your styles from here as well, and it'll show you all those same styles. Let's come back out of this. But if we go into the typography set, then we now have more control over our typography. One of the key things we have is fluid typography. This is great when you want to have any design scale upon the distant devices that you're kind of looking at. So the typography one size on a mobile, it'll be different on a tablet, different on a desktop, and it'll fluidly scale as opposed to jumping between different sizes. So that's nice to see this part of this. You can manage your fonts directly inside here. You can choose the different elements. But what I want to look at is these font sizes down the bottom. This is where we can control and manage the fluid typography settings. So we have these 5 starting points, small through to extra, extra large. If we open any of these up, we can see a preview of this. We can adjust the size. We can choose the units we want to work with, from pixels, ems, rems, and so on. You can enable fluid typography, and you can create custom fluid values. So again, we can set our minimum and maximum values. So as it scales, we can say this is the smallest we want it to go, this is the biggest we want it to go, so we don't get overwhelmed with massive typography or tiny, tiny little typography. So it's great to see that. Come back out of this. We can add more into these by just choosing to create a custom option. You can see there's our new font size. We can click into it. All those same options are available. So I'm not going to set any values up inside here, but let's just give this a name. Let's just call this WPTuts custom font and hit save. So now we've created our custom value inside there. Now let's see where we can find this. Let's save this to make sure we've committed everything. Yes, we want to update our custom styles to commit that change. So there we go. Now if we come out and we go and create a post or something. Now before we go any further, a quick word from today's video sponsor. Are you looking for a hosting partner that takes speed and security seriously? Then look no further than Kinster. Their hosting not only delivers lightning fast performance and top tier security, but also provides you with powerful My Kinster tools. These tools are designed to empower you, making it easy to manage your WordPress site with absolute confidence. And when you need help, they have a WordPress experts available 24/7. No bots, just real answers and real support from people who understand WordPress. It's no wonder they rated 4.8 stars on G2 with over 740 reviews from satisfied users. This high rating and positive feedback should give you the confidence to trust in their services. Kinster, the hosting solution that's fast, secure, and always backed by real support. Get started now using the link in the description below. Okay, let's get back on with today's video. So let's create just a standard heading. And now if we come over to our text, you can see our typography. Inside there, we've got the small through to extra large, but we also have our WPTuts custom font. So whatever we've set up inside there, you can see in this example, it's just 16 pixels. That now becomes a value that we can set up. So we can create these simple global typography settings and use them where we want. So this is a nice addition to it. Now at least we start to see some control over typography, fluid, creating custom values and so on. This is a good addition because typography should be one of the key points that you have in any kind of design. So I'm kind of glad we're starting to see things like that. Now, we'll also notice that if we open up one of these panels on the left-hand side, and we move around and we do other things, we'll select something, our title, we go to add another block in, we'll add a new block, we'll say we want to add an image in, and we'll choose our media library, choose an image from there, and select it. You'll notice that the left-hand panel now stays in place. Previously, this would close down automatically. And the same thing goes if we come into the ordinary option for our blocks and patterns and so on. That will now stay persistent as we're working on this page or post, whatever it is we're working on. One of those little things, I don't understand why it's taken this long to get it, but it at least means that these panels that we may be using 20, 30, 50 times on a page design or template design, at least they don't have to close down and open them back up and close them down and open them back up. So I'm grateful to whoever has actually requested this and for those that have actually listened to create something a little bit more usable for us. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Some nice little quality of life enhancements, like I've said. Now, one of the other things that I think is a really cool little feature, and again, this is one of those things that I would love to see included in things like Bricks and Elementor and those kinds of things, is this option on the top bar, the toggle zoom in and zoom out. This is where we're looking at it as we're designing it. Now, if we click on this, we get a bird's eye view of the overall design of our page. But not only that, we can easily come in here and start editing the content, adding new content in. So for example, let's come to our patterns. Let's open all up. Now we can just say we want to put something in here. So let's just say we'll grab this and we'll just add it to our design. Drop our pattern in, boom, our pattern is now in place. You'll notice that we get these little options on the left-hand side. You want to drag this around, we can drag it. You want to move it, you want to shuffle the design so you get different kinds of designs. You go, I don't know what I want, let's just shuffle it. Oh, that looks terrible. Shuffle it again. Okay, let's move that up. Cool. So now we can control all these things. So again, we can click on this. We can open up our right-hand panel. All our options are now available so we can customize the look and feel of this. Pretty cool. Change your typography, all those kinds of things. You know, all the things that you're used to working with inside here, we actually have those now. So this at least makes it a much easier kind of workflow. Once you've finished, you just simply click and you'll go back into kind of full screen view. That is something I really do like. And you'll also notice that we take a look, our left-hand panel and our patterns panel is still in place alongside our settings panel over on the right-hand side. Things are a little bit cluttered right now, so we can close these things down if we want to go back to our blocks, for example. But you can see that There are some quality of life enhancements being brought into what we can do inside Gutenberg and full-site editing that actually make it a little bit nicer to work with. I'm still not the biggest fan, but you can use it. And it's, like I said, quality of life enhancements. Next up, I want to talk about the query loop or the query builder or whatever you want to call it. Let's go and add one in. So let's just do query. There's our query loop. We'll add it. We'll say we'll start blank, or we can choose a pattern to start off with. So you can say, let's choose, and we've got some pre-built layouts. Whether you like these or not is up to you. Actually, let's just say we'll use one of these. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's grab this one. Okay, so that inserts it in now. You'll notice if you've used this in the past, this now looks a lot more streamlined over on the right-hand side. A lot of the options maybe have been removed from this view, but they are still available. So we haven't lost any functions. They've just simplified it. Again, whether you like this or not is dependent upon you and your workflow. I would still love to see the ability to, when you actually add in these display options to get the kind of full fat version, that this just stays persistent throughout your entire session of working in this particular site. Not just this page, this overall site. So you'll see that we can choose between posts and pages. You can see we've got the little previews there of our pieces of content in our query loop. You'll also notice we can do the oldest to newest, newest to oldest, and so on. So we can set up how we want to show these A to Z, Z to A. You know, you kind of get the idea. Do you want to include or exclude sticky posts, or only show sticky posts? So we can say let's exclude any. Then we can choose the number of posts per page. Currently this is showing 10, I believe. Let's just change this to something like 6. Again, you can see it updates in real time. So all pretty good. You can also come in and choose filters, so you can choose what you want to filter by. So you may want to filter by authors, keywords, and so on. So they are all available. And again, you can enable all of these if you want. So now we have those available inside that panel. You'll also notice that we can open the display option up. Currently, like I say, this is only showing 6, but if we want to expand this to show things like offsets and so on, so you can see these first 2 posts have no featured image. So let's just set an offset there, and we'll say we'll set this to be 2. And now we ignore those first 2 posts, get rid of those, and now we're still showing 6, but it's ignoring the first 2. You kind of get the idea. So all those options are still there. But what they've done is they've kind of streamlined this. So if you are maybe new to working with something like this, whether you'd want to be working with the query loop anyway, because it's not exactly the most simple and straightforward thing if all you want to do is create posts and pages, but those options are still there. They've just kind of hidden them away a little bit. Like I say, leave it or load it, that's what they've done. And those are the kind of key things that you can expect to see in 6.7 when it rolls out in about a month. Will we see all of these? Well, it's kind of dependent, I suppose, on if there are any bugs and quirks, because I have seen some strange things happening. For example, when you look at the zoomed out view in the dark mode, all the little icons disappear and things don't go full width properly. Hopefully these will be ironed out before the final release, and we will get to see all of these features that I've covered in this particular video. As always, though, I'll welcome your comments and feedback in the comment section down below. And as always, my name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.